We are Black Force. We are San Diego.
We welcome you to AT Park in San Francisco. First visit of the year for the Padres. Game one of a three-game series between the San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants. Now, Christian Villanueva had his 11-game hitting streak come to an end yesterday. But this season, in the season series against the Giants so far, 5 for 11 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. On the other side, after a slow start, the newcomer coming from the Rays, Evan Longoria, hitting at .348 with 5 homers and 12 RBIs in the last 14 games. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at AT Park. Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Well, tonight, the Padres and Giants meeting for the first time here in San Francisco this year, and it's the battle of 2 very good first basemen in this series.
I love good first basemen, not only with the bats, but with the gloves, their footwork around the bag, saving errors for their infielders. You look at consistency of these 2 players since 2015, pretty well matched as far as the batting average, the on-base percentage, and they each have their own qualities, because when you look at Eric Hosmer, 28 years old for the Padres, the free agent acquisition, he brings so much, not in the clubhouse, but what's most important with the glove and the bat. He uses the whole field. When you look at Eric Hosmer, only 4 RBIs, but who's really getting on in front of him? Are they setting the table for him? Hopefully that heats up. His on-base percentage about .389, and he could pull the breaking ball, which is good, and he could fight off a fastball with the best of them. Brandon Belt on the other side wearing the black and orange. He's having a heck of a year. Here's how I gauge hitters. Average 300, on-base percentage 400, slugging 500, right? How about Belt? If you're above those numbers, you're doing really, really well. 317 average, 424 on base, 610 slugging. Not only with the glove at first base, he is good enough to win the Gold Glove, Don, but he is doing it big time with the bat, especially when the Giants need it, because they were slumping offensively. They're at 14-14 right now, staying 500. A big reason because of Brandon Belt.
Well, tonight, the starter for the Padres is Eric Lauer. Had a rocky start in the Rockies. Looking to bounce back in better conditions tonight.
I'm really looking forward to tonight's start because there was a lot going on. Major League debut, family in the stands, half-hour delay, 37 degrees. It all adds up to, you know what, between the ears, he was probably, you know, he was rattled a little bit. Now, the better environs here in San Francisco, it's going to be cool. But what's the big key for Eric Lauer? The big thing on his minor league numbers is very good numbers with few walks. Good fastball coming in. Keep an eye on that tonight.
Yeah, he's matched up tonight against Samardzija. When we come back, Mike Pomerantz and Tony Gwynn will join you from the studio. There are many new faces in the NL West. Who stands out? We'll find out next after this. back. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. By Petco, the pet company. And by Sequan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. Welcome back to AT&T Park in San Francisco. Before we get it started, let's send it down to the field and Bob Scanlon.
Oh, thank you, Don. Well, heading into his major league debut, if there was one player that this front office said might be immune to those jitters that usually take over guys, they said it would be Eric Lauer, but even he, of the slow heartbeat, fell victim to it. Understandable. It's nothing to be ashamed of. The adrenaline gets to everybody, and here's what Eric had to say about it.
Obviously, like my last outing, I thought, I was like, I got to change. I got to do more, and it's exactly what you don't need to do. So, yeah, there's always a tendency because it's a bigger stage, bigger stadiums, bigger names you're playing. You're pitching against the best hitters in the world. So, that's the hard part, is mentally trying to lock back in and not get too over the top and try to do too much.
Everybody can tell you, but until you actually experience it yourself, you can't fully appreciate it. But obviously, Eric Lauer understands what he needs to do. What does he need to do? Just be himself. It's been plenty in the minor leagues, and it will be plenty here at the big leagues as well. Well, Christian Villanueva had his 11-game hitting streak broke. He'll try to get a new streak going to help out Lauer. Eric Lauer versus Jeff Samardzija, Padres, Giants, coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Catch, he'll turn it into a double play. How about that for Austin Hedges? Villanueva turns on this one. Will it stay fair? Yes, and it's gone. Padres had a lot of fun against the San Francisco Giants when they came to Petco Park, trying to do the same here tonight as we check out the weather conditions, brought to you by your always sunny Honda dealers of San Diego County. 56 degrees as we get it started tonight with a westerly breeze at 17 miles per hour. Down Orsillo, Mark Grant and Bob Scanlon with you for the first of three between the Padres and the San Francisco Giants. Check out the Padres starting nine tonight, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Leading it off is Travis Jankowski in right field with Eric Hosmer at first base. Christian Villanueva at third base in the 3 spot. With Franchi Cordero in left field, it's Jose Perella back at second base again. Brennan Galvis at shortstop. Manuel Margot in center field bat 7th. Austin Hedges the catcher 8th. And Eric Lauer got his first major league hit out of the way in his first appearance in Denver. That's out of the 9 spot. And Tonight, the Padres will have to deal with Jeff Samardzija.
They call him the Shark, the 33-year-old making his third start. Started the year on the DL with a right pectoral strain. He's throwing more cutters and sinkers. You know, usually you threw four-seamers, you threw a split-finger fastball, very few, but high whip. What's the whip? Walks and hits combined, innings pitched. It's very, very high since his return. He's been working a lot out of the stretch.
Well, here we go. Travis Jankowski in on the left side. And the first pitch of the ball game in there for strike one. Jankowski called up from El Paso. 336 with a home run this year in El Paso. Well, Samardzija coming in with a 1-1 record into his third start of the year. This Giants team at 500, 14-14, despite all the injuries they've had. This one in the air to left field. Incoming is Gorkis Hernandez for the first out.
Speaking of the defense for the San Francisco Giants, it's brought to you by San Diego Cadillac dealers. For the Giants, just saw in left field Gorkis Hernandez, in center field Austin Jackson. Andrew McCutchen will be in right. On the infield, Longoria, Tomlinson at shortstop. Hansen will be at second base. That's Alan Hansen. And then we talked about him in our pregame show. Brandon Belt and Buster Posey putting down the signs tonight.
One down for Eric Hosmer. Hosmer yesterday against the Mets had a 3-hit day. Most hits he's had in a Padres uniform in a game. He's 5 for 11 in the series against the Mets. And he lines this to center field. Austin Jackson won't get there. He will knock it down on a hop and fire it back in, holding Hosmer to a single, but a line drive base hit into center field for Eric Hosmer.
Well, a couple of good things there. First of all, we talked about Eric Hosmer using the whole field. He takes Samardzija right up the middle, up on the plate. Good plate coverage. That ball was off the plate, actually. It looks like it. Hits it with some authority. And then secondly, another good thing, played well by Austin Jackson, preventing that ball. He caught that ball behind him on the short hop.
That gets by him, and Hosmer's going to be running a while. Now to the 399 marker in center field, but Hosmer at first with one away, and it brings up Christian Villanueva.
I mentioned the whip for Jeff Samardzija. Walks and hits combined per innings pitched. He's at 196, Don, almost 2 runners per inning since he's been back. That's a lot of traffic on base paths.
Villanueva grounds it foul outside of third. Well, Samardzija's had his first inning troubles. When we take a look at his earned run average, 2017, 2018, 6.47. Last year, so far this year, 3.50.
Get him on the ropes and keep on punching.
Hosmer at first with one down. And Villanueva fouling that one off. Went hitless yesterday, snapped his career high 11-game hitting streak. And that one hurt, I think. I'm not sure where he got it as he fouled it off himself.
Well, what a way to start a game, huh? You're wearing the shin protector, but that ball, it'll find its way on other parts of your leg or foot. Let's see if this gets us off the knee. Oh, the front shin, it looks like, huh?
Yeah, above where he's got that guard on.
Yeah.
Long pause for Samardzija, and time called. Just holding on to the baseball. Villanueva in his career against the Giants, 7 for 16 and 438 so far. And he'll lift one back a second, shallow right, and that'll fall for a base hit. Hosmer is headed for third. He will get there. Good read by Eric Hosmer as that lands in short right field between Hansen and McCutchen. And Villanueva's got a base hit. First and third with one down.
Don, I was kind of holding my breath there. That is exactly right. This is a great read by Eric Hosmer. This ball has popped up. He's off and running. Andrew McCutchen coming in. That ball dumps right in front of him. Very, very difficult to catch on the fly, but once again, great baseball instinct by Eric Hosmer going from first to third.
Yeah, McCutcheon somehow gets in there, makes that catch. That's a double play. And it's worked out. We'll see if the Padres can take advantage here with Franchy Cordero batting with one down, first and third. 234, 6 homers, and 13 runs batted in for Franchy.
Well, how nice would it be to get on the board in the first inning?
Riding a 3-game hitting streak coming in. Last 3 games hitting 2 home runs. And Samardzija falling behind here, 3-0. Jose Pirela waiting on deck as the Padres bat here in the top of the first inning.
Well, the Padres have scored at least a run 14 times in the 14 runs in the first inning. The most prolific inning, the 7th, with 23.
There's ball 4, 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Spear the shark. Why not? Get him early. Get him in. Reel him in. And the Padres are doing just that. We're getting them on the ropes. And then love for lefty Lauer. Hopefully Lauer can get some love tonight from the offense and give him some breathing room. Different environs here tonight. Sure, it's on the cool side, but I think we're going to see a totally different Eric Lauer tonight.
Bases loaded, one down, and Jose Pirela will take ball 1. Pirela coming in, hitting at 267 on the year. No homers and 10 runs batted in. Career 300 hitter against the Giants. Wild swing and a miss on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, when Samardzija's on his game, he can touch 93, 94. Last pitch looked like it had a little bit more giddy up on it, more straight fastball, had a little run to it.
Hosmer at third, Villanueva at second, Cordero at first, and that'll miss. 2-1. That's some close pitches.
That's good discipline right there by Pirela, working the count in his favor rather than 1-2, now 2-1. Don't have to come out of your shoes here. Just hit something solid. Maybe flirt with one of those lines, the left or right field line.
Popped up right side of the infield. Brandon Belt and Alan Hansen. Infield fly rule in effect as Hansen makes the catch on the right side, 2 down. So Pirela unable to move the runners along, and that's a big out for Samardzija. 2 down in the inning. It'll give Freddie Galvis a chance.
Kind of like a little bit of a loop under the swing there, working underneath it, keeping the pop up on the infield. That out hurts big time.
Outfield bounce straight away here on Galvis. Galvis 1 for 4 yesterday, hit safely in all 3 games of the series against the Mets, and 5 for 12 in the series against New York. He's a career .308 hitter here at AT&T Park in his time as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. Coming in here, jumps ahead, 2-0. Good spot here for Freddie Galvis with the bases loaded and ahead, 2-0.
2-1 to Pirela, no damage. 2-0 here, good count for Freddie.
Already the 20th pitch of the inning for Samardzija, and that'll bounce in for ball 3. I imagine here you're on the take until you throw a strike.
No question.
Well, Margot waiting on deck. Padres trying to jump on top here in the top of the first inning. And there is a strike. Says Larry Vanover, home plate umpire.
Yeah, that was a little two-seam 90-mile-an-hour get-me-over 3-0 fastball. Buster Posey set up right down the center of that dish. Freddie taken all the way.
On the ground to first base. Brandon Belt's got it. He flips to Samardzija, who gets there and somehow gets out of the first inning unscathed. The Giants are coming up. Somehow is Jeff Samardzija and Bruce Bochy's team. Gorkys Hernandez leading it off in left field with Andrew McCutchen in right field. Buster Posey doing the catching. Evan Longoria at third base with Brandon Belt at first base. Austin Jackson in center. Kelby Tomlinson at short. Alan Hansen at second base. And Jeff Samardzija, the pitcher, batting out of the 9th spot. Eric Lauer getting his second major league start.
And the 22-year-old about ready to get things going. The scouting report brought to you by GMC. Tough adjusting last outing. And command early on the fastball. That is huge for the left-hander, Eric Lauer. I mean, that was the word on him in the minor leagues. Very few walks and over 150 innings pitched. He's not going to light up the radar gun. About 91 or so. In fact, in his minor league days, 153 plus innings, only 45 walks for Eric Lauer.
How much do you think conditions came into play in that first start for him? You mentioned the rain delay and how nasty it was that night in Denver.
You know what? I don't think it was so much the conditions. I think it was the scenario itself, because I'm a firm believer.
This is sharply hit into left center field for a base hit. Hernandez with a wide turn and rolled on with a leadoff single here at the bottom of the first inning.
I'm a firm believer that pitchers stay warm out there. They get the blood flowing. Maybe he didn't have a good feel for the baseball, but hey, whoever was pitching for the Rockies had to go through the same thing, right? It was just that I think Eric just didn't make the adjustment, and after all told, family, friends, delay, 37 degrees. I think he's a tough enough kid to where he can, he's pitched in high school in weather like that before.
The lead runner on here in Gorkys Hernandez in the first inning, and brings up Andrew McCutchen. The newcomers to the San Francisco Giants. At one point, the face of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he goes after that first pitch. Sails one out to deep right center field. Margot going back at the wall. Can't catch it. Off the wall. The ricochet is nasty. Jankowski will run it down, but not before Hernandez will try to score, and it's cut off. Giants take a 1-0 lead. A triple for McCutchen. Ball off the base of the wall and apparently just out of the reach of Manuel Margot out in deep right center field.
This ball just kept going and going and going almost towards Triple's alley where it's 421. Manuel Margot, let's see what kind of a beat he's got on it. Well, McCutchen stays on that one nicely. High trajectory, You think that Manuel, maybe, oh, you know what, maybe, you know, that was a good effort. That was a very good effort. He felt track. He leaped up against the wall. Looked like he timed it okay, just couldn't come up with it. Very, very tough play in my opinion. I think Manuel did everything he could to try to catch that ball.
So McCutcheon ends up at third base. Giants end up with a 1-0 lead. And now Buster Posey takes it the other way down the right field line. That's going to get into the right field corner. From third comes McCutcheon. He'll score. The second with an RBI double goes Posey. And just like that, it's 2-0 San Francisco.
Is that pretty hitting or what by Buster Posey? I mean, let's face it. We know that Buster Posey can drive one to center field. We know that he can pull one down the left field line with some authority. But look at that. Just a little two-seamer or fastball off the plate, down and away. What does he do? He just gets the foot down, just flicks that bat. That is his intent. Hey, the swing doesn't have to be pretty. What's pretty is him taking the ball the other way and driving in that run.
No pitch in there for strike one to Evan Longoria. He's been hot lately after a slow start. Speaking of faces of franchises, the face of the Tampa Bay Rays. 247, 6 homers, 15 runs batted in. Now with the Giants. And he'll slice it foul off to the right out of play. Now we're trying to find his bearings here. First outing lasted 3 innings. Gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. Walked more than he struck out. 4 walks, 3 Ks. Trying to bounce back here tonight in San Francisco, but a tough start. Only 9 pitches deep. He's down 2-0. Swing and a miss, and he comes back to strike out Longoria. 1 down here in the first inning.
Looks like a little cut fastball down and in. Watch the glove of Hedges. Hey, if you miss in more, that's good. You don't want to miss the other way to try to do some damage for Longoria. That's an adjustment from Eric Lauer for the first out.
So 1 down and Brandon Belt coming up. Posey gaining his walking lead off second base. We highlighted Brandon Belt, part of the open. Good first baseman featured in this series, and Belt has been hot, dropping down in the order a little bit. Batting 5th and hitting at .317, 6 homers and 14 runs batted in.
Well, some guys just get locked in, huh?
It's unbelievable how much he has turned it on since last we saw the Giants. And Longoria both really the corner infielders for the Giants.
Don, remember that famous at bat setting a new major league record?
Yes.
21 pitch at bat.
Unbelievable in Anaheim.
He made an out. He flew out to right, but since that at bat, which was 21 pitches, he's been batting .444, 12 for 27, a couple of home runs, and he's driven in 5.
It's all National League players with an OPS of 1.034. Fly ball headed towards left center. Over goes Margot, and he'll make the catch. So Posey back to the bag at second with now 2 down.
Let's check out the defense behind Eric Lauer. The defense is brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Hey, welcome back, Freddie. Travis Jankowski is in right field. To his right, Manuel Margot. Franchi Cordero in left. On the infield, Villanueva. Galvis on the left side, the right side of Perella. Hosmer behind the plate tonight. Austin Hedges catching Eric Lauer.
So 2 down, Posey at second base, and Austin Jackson, center fielder for the Giants. Winston Arnspan has left and gone to Tampa Bay. Austin Jackson playing in center field for the Giants. .214 average, no homers, 6 runs batted in for him. Not play yesterday in the finale of the series against the Dodgers. Here for the Giants. A struggle at the plate. 5 hits in his last 31 at bats, hitting at just .161.
Well, the thing that sticks out to me for this kid, Austin Jackson, is there's a punchy in that swing. I mean, there were times when he was back with Detroit, striking out as many as 181 times, 170, over 100 a handful of times. So you get ahead, you expand that zone, maybe that cutter down and in, or that slider.
Swinging a foul tip. Top hand actually came off the bat on that cut. Now we're trying to get out of this first inning, just allowing a couple of runs. After 3 straight hits to begin the inning and 2 quick runs. Struck out Longoria, got Belt to fly out. Now Jackson with a swing and a miss evens the count at 2-2.
That was kind of sneaky fast, that last pitch there.
Some late life.
Yeah, caught the plate, and still Jackson could not catch up.
Well, the Giants are 11-3 when scoring the first run for Bruce Bochy. They have scored 2 of them here in the first inning. Jackson jumping back out of the way. Ball 3. Jackson now, the inning continues. Kelby Tomlinson waiting on deck. Center field for a base hit. From second base comes Posey. Throw is going to be cut off. Posey's in safely, and the Giants jump out to a 3-0 lead. Just out of the reach of Perella at second base and sharply hit on a line into right center field.
All hitters should take note. What are the Giants doing well this inning? Hitting the ball where it's pitched the opposite way. Posey down the right field line off the plate. This pitch is up, catches a lot of the plate, but still stays inside of it enough to rifle it over the head of Perella. And just like that, the Giants are adding on. They put together some good at-bats this inning.
So the Giants on top 3-0. 2 down. Austin Jackson at first base. And Kelby Tomlinson coming up here now for San Francisco. 8th start for Tomlinson on the year. He's appeared in 21 games. .297 average for Tomlinson. Open stance to begin. Back is Austin Jackson at first base. Tomlinson primarily a pinch hitter the last couple of years for the Giants, and a good one. .319 average his career as a pinch hitter. Starting tonight and taking a strike.
It's a tough role in the pinch. You know, usually you're going to face a darn good setup guy, or you're going to face a closer. You know, there's going to be times when it's early in the game and you're going to pinch hit for the pitcher. It's getting blown out like in the 3rd or 4th inning. First inning pitches here for Lauer so far.
Tomlinson down the right field line, headed towards foul ground, and that will end up in the seats. That was Jankowski heading over to that corner, but no play. Three straight hits to begin the first inning. Hernandez, McCutchen, and Posey, they all end up scoring. I got Jackson at first with 2 down. Runner goes, pitches away off the glove of Hedges, and jumping up at second base, thinking about going on was Jackson, but Himself a stolen base here with 2 down in the inning.
Let's check out the jump. Lefty's going on first move, right? If he goes to first base, you continue on. You be aggressive towards the bag. Here is Austin Hedges out of the crowd. Looks like a very catchable ball. Just couldn't hang.
So now Jackson in scoring position. 2-2 pitch. And he fights it off foul to stay alive. Very defensive swing right there. And he got handcuffed. After the start that Lauer had last time, very important to get off to a good start here tonight.
Yeah. The last thing you want any pitcher to be thinking is, oh, here we go again, right?
Protecting the plate again. Defensive swing, fouling it off to the right. Next up here at 2-2. He's got good bat control.
Sure does. That's a hitter knowing the count, is it not? Right? Knowing the situation. And I go back to that Buster Posey swing. Who cares if it's ugly? The end result is what matters.
On the ground, a foul ball. Fouled it off himself, and it hangs here at 2-2.
How about Kelby Tomlinson doing his best Jay Bell imitation? He looks just like Jay Bell. Remember him with the Buccos and the Arizona Diamondbacks, sporting the glasses?
He was an original Diamondback, was he?
Yes, he was. Pretty good hitter in his own right. And defensive player.
Tomlinson strikes out. Got him on the fastball up top. 3 runs for the Giants on top 3-0. Time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
Love trivia.
Tonight's question: Bruce Bochy is one of 3 people who have managed for both the Padres and the Giants. Can he name the other 2? 2 this year. Answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia.
I know that answer, so I'm going to refrain from answering.
Okay. Bottom third of the Padres order here in the 2nd inning. And well, Margot, Austin Hedges, and Eric Lauer. Margot, who led off a couple times over the weekend, back to batting 7th. Average at 188 for Manuel. Grounded down third baseline, but foul. to the bullpen areas. Of course, the bullpens are exposed here at AT&T Park, both down the left field line and the right field line.
Always have to be concerned with the corner outfielders and those foul balls down those lines, right? Because you're concentrating, sprinting, and then all of a sudden it's a speed bump.
And lots of stuff too.
Yeah.
People,
Tarps.
the hills, as you mentioned, running uphill all of a sudden. Kind of surprised that they didn't build bullpens here. Two-two pitch. High and inside, full count. Samardzija posted to a 3-0 advantage. Get out of the bases loaded jam. With one out in the first. Here's one to right center. And over is Austin Jackson. One down.
You know, I'm kind of dating myself by saying this, but there was one guy who was a darn good pitcher in his day. And when I say his name, you'll agree. But the book on him was like, if you could get this guy in the first inning, you got a pretty good chance, right? But after that first inning, forget it. Dennis Martinez.
Really?
El Presidente. That guy could pitch. I remember sitting in the dugout in Olympic Stadium with the Giants, and I remember somebody saying that, hey, we got to get to this guy early.
If not,
forget about it. The next thing you know, he's going 7+ or in the in the ninth. And back then, of course, those guys did go that deep with regularity.
Kind of felt the same way about the late great Roy Halladay.
Yes.
Same idea. If you didn't get to him in the first, you weren't going to get to him. Hedges fouls it back to the screen. And he was a guy, kind of a lost art, that always wanted to go 9 every time he got the baseball.
He had to rip the ball out of his hand, right?
And a guy who went all the way back to A-ball in Dunedin for the Blue Jays to figure it out. After he'd been in the major leagues for a while. I said, you know what? We're going to send you down. Not only are we going to send you down, we're going to send you to A-ball.
Hey, you know what? I think of position players. Ron Gant went through that with the Braves.
Really?
He went back down to Sumter, A-ball, after playing a good, maybe a year and a half in the big leagues.
Get your attention.
Yeah, you think?
Austin Hedges batting out of the 8 spot has struggled at the plate. 176 average coming in. Trying to pick up that outside corner, but just off the outside edge. Eric Lauer, the pitcher, waiting on deck here for the Padres as they bat in the second already. 33 pitches to an inning and a third for Jeff Samardzija. Swing and a miss, and Samardzija picks up his first K of the night. Strikes out Austin Hedges, 2 down.
Watch the glove of Posey. Even though he misses, he's got a little bit of run at 92 up and above the belt. When you miss with location, you better have some movement and up just enough to where the hitter swings underneath it. That was a classic example on that last pitch.
2 down here in the second, and here is Eric Lauer. Lauer got his first major league hit in his first outing in Denver. 1 for 1 so far in the big leagues. There's a breaking ball dropping in there for strike 2. That's a how do you do.
It was a good hammer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the last thing Eric Lauer's expecting.
Swing and a miss, and Lauer strikes out back-to-back days for Samardzija. Has a 1-2-3 inning and a 3-0 lead.
time either, but that breaking ball, we talked the next day. I sat down with him, and what it does for him is very similar to what Patrick Corbin's does for him too. Is he was throwing a curveball in 2-0 counts, 1-0 counts, 0-0 counts that was 68, 70 miles an hour, and it was getting people off the fastball slider combo.
That's Andy Green talking about Eric Lauer needing to use his secondary pitches maybe a little bit more. Now, this is a challenge because throughout his very brief minor league career, it's been the fastball that got him to the big leagues. You don't want a young pitcher to get away from his strength, but at the same time, at the major league level, you have to be able to use those secondary pitches. And what we saw in the first inning, guys, were all 4 hits on fastballs. The strikeouts coming on off-speed pitches. Let's see if he gets to those off-speed pitches a little bit more as this game goes on.
All right, Bob, thanks very much. A.J. Ellis warming up here very quickly as he is taken over behind the dish for Austin Hedges. Hedges had just batted last inning and struck out swinging for the second out of the second inning. Does not come back out there when the Padres do defensively. So A.J. Ellis now in the game. Here is Alan Hansen, second baseman for the Giants. Taking over as part of the crew, taking over for Joe Panik. Ligament damage to the thumb and surgery. Has him on the DL for the Giants, one of the injured Giants. So enter Alan Hansen. Tonight, Brandon Crawford, just a healthy scratch, if you will. Available, but he's been struggling offensively. On the lineup, so you get Kelby Tomlinson at short and Alan Hansen at second base.
And speaking of other injuries on the pregame show, Mike Pomeranz mentioned, remember Corey Seager out for the year for the Dodgers.
Yes, Tommy John.
Tommy John surgery. Wow.
Seems like it's happening more and more for position players.
Alex Dickerson.
Yes. 2-2 is hit on the ground to short. Galvis slides to his right for the first out here of the second inning. Well, other guys going on the DL. Of course, Seager we talked about. Tommy John surgery. Lost for the remainder of the year. Huge hole for the Dodgers. Robbie Ray with an oblique strain placed on the 10-day DL. And DJ LeMahieu has got a right hamstring strain, so he's on the DL for the Rockies.
You know, the oblique strain, that can be a tricky one. As a pitcher, you better be darn sure you are ready to go because there's a lot of torque, right?
Will Myers on the DL with the oblique strain.
Yep.
Here is Jeff Samardzija. For 1 so far at the plate.
Have you ever pulled an oblique?
I have not.
I did, and I'll tell you what, it felt like
Painful?
somebody stabbed me, and I saw stars. It hurt.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Strike 3 call. 2 down, 3 strikeouts now for Lauer. Let's check out the answer to our Valley View Casino trivia question tonight. Bruce Bochy, one of 3 people who have managed both the Padres and the Giants. Can you name the other 2?
Roger Craig, Alvin Dark.
Roger Craig, Alvin Dark. Nicely done. You played for Roger Craig, right?
I did. Good man. Loved Hum Baby. Pitching coach for Sparky Lyle all those years in Detroit, and then got the job in San Francisco. Roger, you know, Roger was a heck of a pitcher himself. If you look at his numbers, you know, he played for that Mets team that lost like 100 and whatever, 62 Mets. They lost 120 games.
That's a lot of games.
That's a long summer.
Hernandez, second time through the order now for Lauer. He's now retired 3 in a row and trying to settle into this outing after allowing 3 first inning runs. Swing and a miss, and a good bounce back inning for Lauer. Strikes out 2 in the inning. 1-2-3 inning, 3-0 Giants. First time this year are the San Diego Padres, just outside AT&T Park here. Lots of boat traffic in the area.
If you had a boat, what would be the name on the boat?
Don Diego.
I like it. I like it.
What about you?
Some kind of nice. That's good, Don Diego.
You got to have your town on there too, so it'll be some kind of nice Alpine,
California.
Yes.
And of course, yours Coronado Yacht Club.
The 0-1 pitch is swung on a miss by Jankowski.
You know, Samardzij's got good arm action. That ball right there, that was the old trap door off the table. Looked like a split-fingered fastball, and Samardzij throws that pitch a lot to left-handers and then tries to go up the ladder just like that.
Well, Padres on deck. Some award winners this week in the Texas League. Pitcher of the week, Logan Allen. 163 opponent batting average, 2 starts, 1-0, the nifty 1.38. And guy at the plate, Travis Jankowski, who's not there anymore. Pacific Coast League player of the week.
Did I read that graphic right? He's hitting 706 in 5 games.
That's a pretty good week.
Those are beer league softball numbers.
Well, he earned his
good for him.
Promotion. Now he lines one out to center field. Austin Jackson's out there waiting for the first out of the 3rd inning. Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
We use the phrase using the whole field, huh? How about Eric Hosmer? Look where this ball is pitched. Look where his eyesight takes him, and there's the swing. The knob of the bat to the baseball. The barrel will follow. Here's a high fastball. Getting on top of it is key here. See how that one line drive hopper through the infield, and then the breaking ball. I often talk about breaking balls and speeding up the bat of a hitter. That's the classic case for Eric Hosmer. Over the plate, he will pull that baseball. And as a pitcher, how do you counter? Good arm speed like that last one, and you throw that split finger, and there it is. Hits by direction for Eric Hosmer. Heavy on the left side.
A lot of opposite field action for him, especially when it's in the air. That's the way the outfield is positioned right now. And carve this one foul, down 0-2.
Samardzij doing a good job of going soft and then speeding him up with that fastball late to get quickly ahead 0-2.
The defensive alignment, Austin Jackson, center fielder, over towards left center. They don't shift on him in the infield. Some teams do. Just off the outside edge. Up and away, 2-2. Now Jeff Samardzij, 2014 National League All-Star, entering his 3rd season with the Giants. Started the season on the DL with a pectoral strain suffered during spring training. Up again, and a full count now.
I think he chose the right sport, Don. What do you think?
Yes, I think he did. It's gone quite well.
Yeah, football, baseball at Notre Dame.
In 32 starts last year, was just 9-15 though for the Giants a year ago. 4.42. There's ball 4 to Hosmer, and down to first base he goes. Second walk allowed by Samardzij tonight.
Well, the Padres have some catching up to do, and Eric Hosmer being patient enough, laying off those high pitches to pass it along to the next guy, Christian Villanueva. Hopefully he can do some damage.
Villanueva with a single in the 1st inning. One of 2 Padres hits on the night against Samardzij. Sure, over 200 innings for him. 5th consecutive season that he's done that, joining Max Scherzer, only pitcher in the majors to throw at least 200 frames each of the last 5 years. He's been remarkably consistent in that regard. Logs a lot of innings. Fires over to first, almost threw it away. Consecutive seasons with 200+.
Yeah, nowadays that's a workhorse, right?
Yep. Used to be 300, right?
Gosh, I remember some guys still going 340, 360.
Line foul out ahead of this. Off the protective netting beyond the Giants dugout. Of course, they're housed here in the third base side.
He's trying to make him fish upstairs.
It's like they're coming in here on Villanueva. He fouls it off himself on a pitch in. 94 on the fastball from Samardzija. So yeah, getting up there now. Yep. 93, 94.
A little bit of run to it. Getting in off the barrel.
Third start comes in 1-1 and got a great offensive help in the first inning. 3 runs for the Giants out of the gate. On top here 3-0 with Padres batting in the third. And Villanueva grounds one to shortstop. The second for 1 on to first for 2. Double play. Ends the top of the third inning. 2.5 done. 3-0 Giants.
History and win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS.
Andrew McCutchen leads it off here for the Giants. 4 in a row retired by Eric Lauer. He's got to deal with the tough part of the order here. 2, 3, and 4. McCutchen, Posey, and Longoria. McCutchen with an RBI triple in the first inning. Now he hits one on the ground and into left center field. 2 for 2 is the Giants right fielder Andrew McCutchen.
Looked like the infield was playing a little bit to play on the pull side. This pitch is down and away, and McCutchen just doesn't pull it the way the Padres were hoping. Look at the glove of A.J. Ellis, down and away, and he takes this ball well out of the reach of Freddie Galvis. Giants early on tonight have put together some good at-bats.
Here's Buster Posey, the runner at first, and nobody out. Posey with an RBI double in the first, came around to score the third Giants run. And it's always feasted on Padres pitching. .303 average. A large sample size, 112 games. Throw to first.
Ooh.
And back and late to react was McCutcheon.
You think a good throw gets him? He was kind of leaning a little bit.
It's close. Giants maybe trying to keep the pressure on here. Fouled off to the right by Posey, 1-1.
Posey, I think, with a left-handed pitcher like Lauer, you can get him in with a little cut fastball. He will chase down and in with 2 strikes, and I think up and in also. But to get it in, you have to really get it in. Here's AJ set up inside now. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This is the RBI we were talking about in the at-bat. Down and away, something soft, and Buster Posey just punches it that way to drive in another run. As I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to be pretty. It's the end result.
Throw over, and he is out at first base, picked off. So McCutcheon looking over at the umpire, Hunter Whittlestead. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there, saying whether or not it is a balk or not.
Bruce Bochy is chirping. I don't know whether they're. Let's see where he steps. Okay, now you know what? From that angle, I can't really tell if he broke the plane with his kick foot. If you break the plane of that pitcher's plate, go back towards like second base. If you break that plane, you have to go to the plate. So I don't know whether that's what they're discussing or wanting to argue at that point, or the step itself. Did he break the 45-degree angle?
Wasn't the play at first because he didn't argue that. They didn't challenge it. First base umpire Hunter Whittlestead. So they feel like it was a balk. This one fouled off to the right out of play.
Well, here's a great angle. Watch his lift. Oh, does it break? Yeah, that's close.
Pretty close.
It's very, very close. And then there's the tag.
Explains the late reaction by McCutcheon. And really, there were 2 late reactions by McCutcheon. Almost got him the first time. That's ball 4, and down to first base goes Buster Posey. First walk given up by Lauer.
Let's talk about that pickoff move before we move on. Here's the top of the leg kick, and the rule states here's the pitcher's plate, right? Your leg, your kick foot cannot go beyond that plate that way. If you do that, you have to go to home plate. Okay, you can go straight up, and in the umpire's opinion, he did not break that plane going that way, so therefore they called it a legal move and a balk. And from that, looking at that second, yeah, he looks like he's right over that foot. And then you got a 45-degree angle. Okay, here it is. Okay, straight line, 90 degrees, right? Where's 45? We learned in school a long time ago, right? 45 degrees. Now roll it. And this is obviously it's a scale, but if you go, I think he steps well within the 45-degree angle.
On the ground foul outside of third. And Longoria fractured his bat, I think. He did. He's going to need a new one. They'll get in on him there, and he gets a new piece of lumber. Evan Longoria with a .700 slugging percentage. It's left-handed pitching. 0-2 pitch. And it is just outside.
It's 92 on the fastball from Lauer. I think that's probably what he's peaked at this evening.
in the air to left center field. Margot moving over, so is Cordero, and it'll be Cordero who makes the catch. And back to the bag at first goes Posey, 2 down.
You know, I thought Manuel Margot lost that ball.
Yeah, he looked up, didn't see it.
Cordero had a beat on it, thank goodness. But it looked like Manuel at the last second threw his arms up in the air saying, hey.
It's kind of twilight right now here in San Francisco. Yeah,
yeah.
Arms in the air. That's what I was looking at. He was nowhere near it, as it turned out. It's unfortunate for the Padres. Frenchy Cordero had it under control, 2 down. Posey at first, held on by Hosmer into the shift. Go the Padres on the right side for Brandon Belt. Belt flied out to center field in the first inning. Highest OPS this season, Brandon Belt.
On base percentage and slugging percentage combined.
Rounder foul, 1-1.
I mentioned this in our game open. Here's what hitters strive for. Batting average 300 or better. It's 300, 400, 500. Average of 300 or better. On base percentage 400 or better. Slugging percentage 500 or better. If you're doing all 3 of those, you're doing something really, really special.
On the ground to first, off the glove of Hosmer. Reaching at first to be Brandon Bell. Error charge to Hosmer at first base. The Gold Glove first baseman charged with a knee.
Well, you're right, Don. He's in a good position, and I think that is called correctly an error. And I would believe that if you would ask Eric Hosmer, there's a better look. I think he himself would say, you know what, I have to make that play. He is set, and it's off the heel of the glove.
So the inning continues. First and second, 2 down. And Austin Jackson. Single to drive it a run in the first inning. Well, carves one foul off to the right out of play. Also stole a base back in the first inning. Straightened him up with a pitch in at 90 miles per hour. Posey at second, Belt at first, 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. .60 pitches for Eric Lauer through 2 2/3 innings. Jackson hits it in the air to right, but right at Jankowski out there for the out that ends the third inning. To the fourth we go with the Giants on top 3-0. outdoors banquet. Timeless moment. On this date, April the 30th in 1961, Willie Mays hits 4 home runs. The Giants' 14-4 win over the Milwaukee Braves.
He was a pretty good player.
Wasn't bad.
Gosh, you know, I have pictures on my phone actually. I was fortunate enough last year for the last series here, walk into the clubhouse to see Mike Murphy, who's been here since ever. And the Say Hey Kid was there on the first right in a little office there.
Nice.
And I went in and I said, Mr. Mays, it's good to see you.
That's
and
cool.
It is very, very cool. That's the Say Hey Kid, man.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? You know, I don't really get starstruck by too many athletes and stuff. But the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, it's
a different story.
That is a different story.
Franchi Cordero leading it off here in the 4th inning. Jose Perella, Freddie Galvis anticipated here in the inning.
I get like that around Willie McCovey as well, and Willie comes to a lot of games.
Seen him here before.
Yep. Such a nice man.
Very nice.
Gosh, he's just so fun to talk to and gracious with his time. And
77 splash hits in the McCovey Cove out there these days. Fly ball, center field. Jackson on the move towards left center, not going to get there. One hops up and over. And Franchi Cordero into second base with a double to begin things here in the 4th inning.
Don, I didn't think that ball was hit that far.
No, it carried very well.
And Franchi has done that to us this year. We saw it in Arizona. We saw it in Colorado. He is so big and strong. He gets that bat going on contact. You know, he's out in front of it a little bit. The trajectory, watch the trajectory, the launch off the bat, right? But then again, this ball slicing away from Jackson. Rule book double.
Leads it off here in the 4th inning. 3rd Padres hit off Samardzija. And it brings up Jose Perella. So Samardzija from the stretch now. Perella popped up to the second baseman. Alan Hansen back in the 1st inning.
Complimentary hot chocolate coffee. Complimentary. Complimentary.
Well, a career 300 hitter against the Giants. Runners in scoring position this year, hitting at 375. He's been very good in this spot. Getting a chance right here in the 4th inning. And ahead 2-0.
I heard a hot chocolate somewhere.
Big situation lost in that 1st inning, Don. You well know 2 chances with the bases loaded, but the Padres couldn't get anything.
No, Perella popped out. Galvis grounded out, and Samardzija out of the inning unscathed. There's a strike, 2-1. Down the right field line, but headed foul. That's Samardzija's 3rd start of the year, on the DL. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Perella, picks up his 3rd K. 1 down here in the 4th inning.
Posey set up away. That ball leaks in. Yeah, it just that looks like a 2-0 swing rather than just kind of trying to shorten up a little bit and trying to take the ball the other way.
So one out runner at second for Freddie Galvis. Galvis grounded out to first base in the first inning. Fastball by him at 92. Galvis played every game so far this year. This is game number 30 of the season for the Padres. Galvis leads all shortstops in innings played, 261 and 2/3 coming in. Last year played in all 162 games. It worked out to be his last year in Philadelphia.
Remember last half inning when Samardzija was out there, we were talking about 5+ seasons with 200 innings or more. Therefore, he's a workhorse. One of my favorite players of all time, Old Hoss Radbourn. The year 1884, he pitched for the Providence Grays. He pitched 678 2/3 innings. He had back-to-back 600+ innings years.
Swinging a foul tip for strike 3. Held on to by Posey. Back-to-back Ks for Samardzija. 2 down in the inning.
And he goes up the ladder again to Galvis. Posey set up away. That ball leaks up a little bit into the glove off the bat for the strikeout.
So after the leadoff double by Frenchie Cordero, Padres have been unable to move him along. Morellis strikes out. Galvis strikes out. And there's Manuel Margot. Towards left center field. Hernandez got a late break. Won't get there. It's in for a hit. Around from second comes Frenchie Cordero. And it's an RBI single for Manuel Margot. And the Padres are on the board. A 2-out RBI single for Margot.
We've seen this evening that Samardzija trying to go up the ladder to lefties, and this one's down below the belt buckle, and Manuel on this little two-seamer in fights it off nicely, and the Padres are finally on the board.
A.J. Ellis batting for the first time tonight. Took over for Austin Hedges. Over to first base, and back is Margot. Not yet gotten a report on Hedges. Left this game after an at-bat. Back in the second inning when Hedges struck out swinging, did not return defensively. Ellis a 208 start to his season. Safely back is Margot.
Just to button it up on Old Hoss. That year 1884, he was 59-12. I love that. That's great. He had an ERA of 1.38.
Just short of 60 wins, huh?
Yeah. Gosh, I love that old baseball stuff.
Center fielder Austin Jackson over towards right center. Gap out there in left center. JL is 2 for 2 in his career against Samardzija, who checks at first on Margot. Next pitch will be the 70th of the night for the Giants starter. Most he's thrown in any outing this year is 86. On the ground to third. Longoria goes to second for the force out. That will end the inning. But Manuel Margot with an RBI single gets the Padres on the board in the top of the 4th inning, getting their first run in. It's 3-1 Giants as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning in San Francisco. Hashtag Buzz the Booth question of the night. In your opinion, which current MLB park is the hardest to hit in?
Well, you know what? I'm going to ask you, Don. What if you're a hitter? What park do you want to hit in?
Camden Yards is good. You want some small ballparks?
How about NL West?
Small venues.
We were just there.
Oh, Denver.
Denver, Coors Field.
Yeah, Denver's pretty good to hit.
And I did some research, and this is through the years 2013 through 15, I believe. 13 through 17. The pitchers' parks. If pitchers are going to choose to pitch somewhere, Marlins Park in Florida is probably the best.
How about Philly?
Followed by Petco Park.
Really?
And also Rogers Center. Now, for hitters, Coors is number 1. Chase Field number 2. And Globe Life Park in Texas is 3. For runs scored.
I would have Citizens Bank in there somewhere too.
Citizens Bank is there as well. That's for home runs. If you're talking home runs, Cincinnati's up there. Citizens Bank is 2. Cincinnati's 3. And the number 1, Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
That's 2013.
Short fortune, right?
Yeah, that jet stream out there, right?
Reminder fans, you can send us your video question or any question. Use the hashtag BuzzTheBoothFD and we'll answer it during an upcoming broadcast. It's hashtag BuzzTheBoothSD. Shelby Tomlinson just got buzzed by Eric Lauer. It's the 5th strikeout for Lauer, 1 down in the inning.
And it's worth another look. Down and away. Does he hit his target? You bet. It's a breaking ball down and in. Inner third. I think, judging by AJ, he wanted to backdoor that one, but that's good enough for the strikeout.
So 1 down here in the 4th. Hansen chops it off the plate foul.
By the way, the ballpark that has had the fewest home runs from 2013 to 17 is right here in San Francisco.
Ball does not carry very well here.
Yep. Plus, it's got that deep right center alley.
This to right on the line, in for a base hit for Hansen. 1 out single here in the 4th inning. Yeah, 421 to that alley you're talking about out there in right center field. That is a long way away.
That's Death Valley out there.
Jeff Samardzija getting his 2nd plate appearance, struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Charging from 3rd, Villanueva. Samardzija pops it up foul back to the screen on the bunt bid. Pitch a game break coming up. The New York Yankees and Houston Astros meeting again. Did last year in the postseason and meeting in the regular season. Which caught up on all the action from Minute Maid Park. Trying to bunt again and not getting it done again. Samardzija to the screen again. 2 ugly bids. 0-2. See if they keep it on here.
I would think they would, but you never know. Pull back. That's what I always like with 2 strikes. Show bunt, pull back. Because if you foul it off, you get another crack at it. The old butcher boy, the Baltimore chop.
Throw to first and back safely is Hansen. Moment of surprise there. Kind of forgot about the guy at first base, and all of a sudden slinging it over there is Lauer. He's already picked off 1 hitter.
That was very close. Watch Hansen. He's got a bop quickly back to the bag.
He's able to pick off Andrew McCutchen in the 3rd inning at first base. Pitch 70 coming up here for Lauer. Samardzija strikes out. 6 strikeouts for Lauer, 2nd time. That Samardzija's down by way of the K.
That's a big frame. Samardzija 6'5". That's a big strike zone. 6'5", 240 for Jeff Samardzija.
So 2 down. Hansen at first base, top of the order. Marcus Hernandez 1 for 2, single back in the first inning and came around to score the first Giants run. Take strike one. Center fielder Margot over towards right center, gap out in left center. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw down is not going to be in time. Stolen base for Alan Hansen. Second stolen base of the night for the Giants, and he's in scoring position with 2 down.
A.J. Ellis having a conversation with Larry Vanover. Let's take a look at the move. First movement from Lauer. He is off. He looks, flash look. And Jose Perella, a nice job by, this is a very late swing, you think? 2 hands out in front. Got that knee.
What are they arguing about here? Andy Green has come out, home plate umpire.
He did swing.
Larry Vanover checked with Hunter Windelstead.
He did swing.
Definitely swung. So apparently Vanover did not think so, but he did check with Windelstead, who said he did. So the count now 0-2. Runner going for third. Pitch is high. Throw down is in time. A.J. Ellis catches him stealing. Batter interference may have been part of that as well. We'll take a look here. There's Bochy pointing in the direction of home plate. So is A.J. Ellis. Caught stealing, it appears, to end things here in the 4th inning. Giants have a 3-1 lead. All right, Mike and Tony, thanks very much. 3-1. The Giants have the lead. And a check swing here didn't go, says Hunter Windelstead, first base umpire. Eric Lauer, the Padres pitcher, leading it off here in the 5th inning. Has settled down and in on the mound tonight. Fouls this one back to the screen. Followed by Travis Jankowski and Eric Hosmer in the 5th. Struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning in his first plate appearance. Padres getting their run in the 4th inning. At the time trailing 3-0. 2-out RBI single by Manuel Margot. Scored Franchy Cordero.
Well, nice thing about Eric is he's found that release point.
Hauer strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. 5 strikeouts for Jeff Samardzija. Now, some of the stars in April. Mookie Betts off to a tremendous start in Boston at .344 with 8 home runs. Didi Gregorius, who is all of a sudden powering up. 10 home runs. Manny Machado making the move from 3rd to short. Jed Lowry healthy and hitting at .339 for the A's, and our own Christian Villanueva.
I smell Rookie of the Month.
Absolutely.
Did I see 3 asterisks?
I didn't notice.
Yeah. Did you see that?
No. That would make him the lead leaguer in that category.
Average, home runs, RBIs. Asterisk.
Mentally preparing for his next at bat. With 1 out here in the 5th inning, Travis Jankowski will take ball 3, 3-0.
Yeah, don't go after that pitch up around the chin there, Travis.
Jankowski now, Hosmer next. That's ball 4, and Jankowski down to first base with 1 down in the inning. 3rd walk given up by Samardzija. With Hosmer coming up, it is time for the Kia drive to success. Eric Hosmer, MLB leader's best on base percentage in the last week. 700 in the last week, getting on lots.
I would have to say that's driving to success. And how about driving in Travis Jankowski? You got speed on first base. You got the big gaps here in San Francisco. Drive him home.
Hosmer taking a strike from Samardzija. He's been aboard twice tonight already. Single in the 1st inning to center. They walked in the 3rd inning. Pitch count rising for Samardzija. This will be pitch 82. Starting to stop for Jankowski, and a pitch outside. I don't know if he didn't get the start he liked, but kind of a start and a stop at first.
Good pitch.
Strike on the inside corner.
That's good 2-seam movement in off the plate. Kind of straightens up Eric Hosmer, and he gets the inside corner, according to Larry Vanover.
Throw to first, and Jankowski diving back head first. Samardzija's given up 4 hits and a run in his outing so far, with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Hosmer rips this to right field, back towards the wall, and it's off the landing. Karams to McCutcheon, who gets it back in. Jankowski to 3rd on the double by Eric Hosmer to right field. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. 3rd time Hosmer's been on with his 2nd hit.
You know, this is a good thing, bad thing. Good thing because this ball is laced. It's hit so hard on the line that you see Andrew McCutcheon. As soon as that ball was hit, 1 of 2 things are going to happen. It's going to go over the wall. There's nothing he can do about it, or he's going to play the carom. He elected the latter, played the carom, and it's hit so hard it came back that Travis Jankowski, even with that speed, can't score.
So second and third with one out. Chance here for Villanueva. Jumps on that first pitch and fouls it back.
A golden opportunity right here.
Foul back, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Giants are going to get somebody up in the pen as they start to stir around down there and head down to the pen.
Good curveball just off the plate.
Villanueva grounds it to third base, and going to first is Longoria. Gets the out there as Jankowski scores, and the Padres are within a run. So Villanueva on the ground up picks up an RBI. His 19th of the year, and it's a one-run game as Hosmer takes third.
Travis Jankowski got caught in between. Watch as this ball is hit. He is off and running, but watch, he gets caught. He doesn't know whether to slide it home or stand up, and he gets kind of caught in between there, and then the stutter step, touching home plate.
Now Franchy Cordero with a big cut for strike one. Cordero's been on twice, a walk in the first, a double in the fourth inning, and came around to score the first Padres run. Tying run 90 feet away here with two down in the fifth inning. Ground ball up the middle, ranging is Hansen. His off balance throw in the dirt, but dug out by Brandon Belt. And the Giants do give up a run in the inning. It's 3-2 Giants.
Listen to what he says, and I really take it to heart, and I really try to work on the things that he tells me will help me with my career. He's a perfect example of what you have to do to stay in the show as long as he has. So anything that I can do to kind of mimic him a little bit, I think would help me in the long run.
That's Eric Lauer talking about what a great mentor Clayton Richard has been to him. And remember, Clayton took it upon himself to bring both Eric Lauer and Joey Lucchese out to his house this offseason to show the young kids what they have to do to stay in the big leagues, how to get in shape. I guess it was a pretty tough week under Clayton's supervision. But the other thing is he says, look, there's a left-handed bond. They spend a lot of time talking about how to work as a lefty and on their pickoff moves. We may have seen some of that action here tonight, guys. Nice recovery by Eric Lauer after a tough first.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. as Andrew McCutchen leading it off here against Lauer in the 5th inning. And they've changed the scoring that ended last inning. Not a caught stealing, but instead of strike 3 to Hernandez. So that's 7 strikeouts now for Lauer. That's ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Andrew McCutchen starts the bottom of the 5th inning. Second walk allowed by Lauer in his outing. And it'll bring up Buster Posey. He's been on twice tonight against Lauer. Posey with a double in the 1st inning, a walk in the 3rd inning. Padres infield at double play depth. Hosmer holding on. McCutchen at first base. Of course, McCutchen got picked off in the 3rd inning by Eric Lauer at first base. Going over there again, and this time crossing over to get back to the bag.
And I'm sure when they were working out together, Clayton Richard and Eric Lauer, they were working on that pickoff move. Of course, Clayton, one of the best in all of baseball. Tell you what, if I was left-handed, I'd be in the ear of Clayton Richard every day and working on that move.
Posey pops it up, shallow center. Galvis out, Margot in, and Margot calls off Galvis and makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Time for our Arco top tier play, and that pickoff back in the 3rd inning at first base of Andrew McCutchen by Lauer. Tag applied by Hosmer.
That's another quality for a good first baseman. Catching the ball, snap tag quickly.
Now both Eric Lauer and Joey Lucchesi have picked off a base runner this year. Casey did it back on the 5th of April against Colorado. It's the first time the Padres have had 2 rookie starters scored pickoffs in the same season since 2014. The ground ball through the left side into left field, a base hit for Evan Longoria as McCutchen takes second. The Giants have 2 on with 1 away.
Well, the hot just keep getting hotter, and Evan Longoria continues to swing the bat well and put together good at-bats, finding the hole this side, the left side of the infield.
Those rookies with the pickoffs in the same season, 2014, Hahn and Despaigne. McCutchen at second, Longoria at first, 1 down here in the 5th inning.
I'll tell you what, you talk about having a big test at the big league level right here. Couple of runners on. One of the hottest hitters, a lefty up at the plate in Brandon Belt. Adam Simber heats up quickly in the Padre bullpen.
Swing and a miss for Belt, and a ball and a strike to the Giants first baseman.
A lot of things going well for Belt in this particular situation. Prior to this game, 306 average against left-handed pitchers, 368 average with runners in scoring position.
Second big league start for Eric Lauer. Gave up 3 runs in the 1st inning. He's not allowed a run since, but Giants threatening here in the 5th. Belt will hit it to center field. Margot going back. Makes the catch in front of the track, and that is out number 2. Everybody back to their respective bases. McCutcheon to second. Longoria to first with now 2 down.
He hit it well. Just didn't get enough oomph on it. And he misses with location. That could have spelled damage there. He wanted it down and away. It leaked up a little bit. See the glove of A.J. Ellis? That's outer third. Good extension by Belt, but just didn't get it enough. I think there's a little bit of a comfort factor just after we saw that shot right there, having A.J. Ellis out there. That's something that Eric Lauer can feel comfortable with. Austin Hedges, and also, catching me in spring training, get to know him, but also the veteran catcher, A.J. Ellis, taking the place of Austin earlier in the game.
2 down, first and second. It brings up Austin Jackson. That is an interesting point. He has really started to turn things around since Ellis has been in the game.
You know what, Don, I would think that it would take a lot of guesswork out of it. Sure, Eric is prepared, going over the scouting reports with Darren Balsley and all the pitching staff before the series. The catcher's doing the same thing. But A.J. Ellis knows these hitters probably better than anybody, playing in the division, knows the Giants.
On a strike here to Austin Jackson, who singled, stole a base in the first, driving a run, and flied out to right in the third.
If I'm Eric Lauer and A.J. Ellis is putting out signs, I'm not shaking off.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Sneaky fast on the 90-mile-an-hour cheese up and in. And he missed with location as well. He wanted that down and away.
In the air to right field, where Travis Jankowski is under it, and he makes the catch out there that ends the inning. Giants will strand a pair, 3-2 San Francisco. And scoring was Gorkis Hernandez. That Buster Posey going the other way with a double that would score McCutcheon to give the Giants a 2-0 advantage. Austin Jackson gets into it and lines one up over the glove of Perella into center field. That scores Posey. The Giants had a 3-0 lead. Padres will get on the board in the 4th inning. Singled by Manuel Margot will score. Franchi Cordero would double to begin the inning. Padres get another run in the 5th, and it is 3-2 Giants as we play along here to the 6th inning. as Jose Perella leads it off against the new pitcher. As Maranta comes on here, the right-hander for the Giants.
He's got a live arm, 97 on that 4-seam fastball, along with a slider, pretty much a two-pitch pitcher. The thing that sticks out to you is the strikeouts. 1 per inning, a little high on the walks though, 10. And overall, opponents are just 5 for 45. That's a 111 clip.
So Samardzija, who had only thrown 88 pitches for a high in the year, threw 89 pitches in 5 innings tonight. Gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 5, and departs with a chance for a win if the bullpen can help him out. Other changes: Gregor Blanco now in the game in left field, and moving from left to center is Gorkis Hernandez. So Austin Jackson coming out of the game. Jose Perella 0 for 2. He has flied out to shallow right field and struck out swinging. That is ball 4, and Perella down to first base. Leadoff walk to begin the 6th inning. So tying run aboard here to begin things in the 6th inning.
Nice to see, showing some patience there. And we just got done mentioning as Bruce Bochy's chirping at that last call. Now 11 walks in those 14 innings for Maranta.
There's Freddie Galvis 0 for 2. Galvis has grounded out to first base and struck out swinging. Just outside. That's where Buster Posey wanted it, but too far off the plate. So into the pen are the Giants here in the 6th inning. Galvis hits a hot shot to second that eats up Hansen. Couldn't find it initially. He's now able to grab it, but reaching at first base is Galvis. Going to be a base hit on a ball that exploded on Hansen at second base. Could have been a double play ball because it hit so sharply, but that bounce, Hansen couldn't handle it. Ate him up.
That is one of those. That's those hops that's not far enough out in front of you to where you can really kind of gauge it, get it eye level, and also kind of charge it. Good luck trying to charge that one. You said it just right, Don. That ball ate him up. That ball was crushed.
So first and second, nobody out, and Manuel Margot coming up. Single to drive in a run in the 4th inning. Showing bunt and fouling it back to the screen. Grab the attention of Evan Longoria at third base. Now backs up even with the bag at third. Brandon Belt at first doing the same. Perella at second. Galvis at first. 0-2.
There's that breaking ball from Maranta. You're going to get the heat or you're going to get the wrinkle. Very, very, very rarely he throws a changeup.
First up in the pen tonight for Bruce Bochy. First into the game from the pen. Margot grounds it to third and through. Longoria into left field. From second base comes Perella to tie this game. Throw goes to second, and into second base goes Margot. All tied at 3. They are charging an error to Evan Longoria down there at third base as the Padres have tied it up here in the 6th inning.
You know, I was talking to some of the Giants people before the game, and they said one of the things for them being at 14-14 and recovering from the first couple of weeks, whatever, they could catch the ball. Not the case.
So now Freddie Galvis at third base, and a pitch in there for strike one to A.J. Ellis.
Not the case on that play there. That one ball hit hard to Hansen at second base. That was a hit, but once again, this is golden opportunity. Got to come through big time here.
Second and third, still nobody out. They've tied it up now. A chance to take the lead here in the sixth inning. Ellis will lift it in the air to right field. Over goes McCutchen. And he'll make the catch. Tagging at third base is Galvis. Throw goes to third. It's cut off. And the Padres have taken a 4-3 lead. Sacrifice fly for A.J. Ellis puts the Padres on top. They had a 3-run deficit, but now lead it 4-3.
That'll wake up the dugout. A.J. Ellis fights this one off inside, elevates it enough to the outfield. No chance for McCutchen, and both runners tagging. Heads up baseball, scoring the run 90 feet away from run number 5. That's a good big league at bat by the veteran backstop A.J. Ellis.
Now Chase Headley is going to bat in Eric Lauer's spot. As Headley takes a strike over the outside corner. So Lauer departing this game after 5 innings, 88 pitches. With some help from the bullpen, can grab a victory here tonight. His first big league victory. I'll give him a lot of credit after giving him 3 runs in a blink of an eye in the first inning, but then really settling down the rest of the night.
Darn right. Second inning, 1, 2, 3. And that's about the third inning was the next roughest inning for him. Have 2 base runners, and in the 5th, 2 base runners. He rebounded nicely.
Flared foul off to the left, and Headley down 1-2. Three for 38 at the plate is Chase Headley. Two and 2. Infield in here for the Giants with 1 out in the inning. Fouled off to left out of play. 2 and 2. Inning started with a walk by Perella. Infield hit for Galvis and a ball that exploded on Hansen. Error charge to Longoria at third base. Off the bat of Margot. Run scored, then a sac fly for A.J. Ellis. 2-2 pitch. And it's lined into right field for Chase Headley. From third base comes Margot, and the Padres take a 5-3 lead. Chase Headley pinch hitting and driving in an insurance run here for San Diego.
I was just about to say there are 2 ways that Chase Headley will be able to drive in that run. One is a slow breaking ball over the heart of the plate to speed up his bat, or cheating on a fastball. It looks like Chase kind of cheated on a fastball there. Hitters look for certain pitches. They look for certain pitches in the area. He got it, fractured his bat. He will gladly sacrifice that shillelagh for a run driven in.
Now Travis Jankowski with Headley at first. We'll take a look at strike 1 from Maranta. So Samardzija no longer a part of this game here tonight decision wise. Maranta on the hook. He has allowed 3 runs here in the 6th inning. And the Padres have taken a 5-3 lead. He's not out of the inning yet. And there is nobody warming in the pen for Bruce Bochy. To jumping ahead 0-2 at Jankowski. Chopped up over the mound towards second. Hansen will go to first for an out there. No out there. Throw to second. They do get Headley. But safe at first is Jankowski. So Hansen trying to get the out at first base first before dealing with the runner at second. And they're unable to get Jankowski. They do get Headley though at second.
He stops in his tracks. He makes Hansen commit to first. Now, does Chase Headley have enough speed to get there? Slides towards the outfield part of the bag. Not the case. He is out.
So Jankowski at first base with 2 down, and Eric Hosmer the batter. So that one 4-3-6, right? On the put out at second base.
4-3. Yes, you are correct, sir.
Hosmer tonight's been on base 3 times. A single to center, walk, and a double to right. In there for a strike, 1-1. Padres get down 3-0 in the first inning. Run in the fourth, a run in the fifth, and so far 3 runs here in the 6th inning. Throw over and back to the bag, Jankowski. One and 2. Adam Simber has been warming in the pen for the Padres. Looks like he'll be coming on here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as Eric Lauer was hit for in the inning by Headley and looked out great. A pinch hit single to right field, drive in a run. Throw to first, and Jankowski back to the bag. Over again, a little closer this time. Montes had a 26-pitch inning and allowed 3 runs in the inning, dealing with his 7th batter of this 6th inning. And Hosmer, it's a fly ball to right field. McCutchen in, will make the catch. It ends the inning, but what a productive inning it was for the Padres. Well, an error at third base off the bat of Margot, and through Longoria would score a run. Then A.J. Ellis on a sac fly would bring in another with Galvis. And finally Headley with a single to drive in a run. of the 6th inning. To the bottom of the 6th inning we go, back at AT&T Park in San Francisco. And first pitcher out of the pen tonight for the Padres is Adam Simber.
14th game for the, yeah, well, how do you describe him? Not a sidewinder.
Would you go as far as to say submariner?
Submariner. Thank you very much. Pretty good numbers for Adam.
Little dribble in front of the plate. Ellis jumps out there and fires to first base just in time. Nice play. A.J. Ellis showing off a good arm.
And a nice stretch into fair territory for Eric Hosmer. A.J. Ellis creating that throwing lane. Calls off Simber. Turn towards the glove hand side. Snap throw from the ear. And the Gold Glover with the stretch. The ball almost hit him in the box there. Could have been a foul ball any closer, but that works out for the Padres to get that big first out.
One down in the 6th inning. Alan Hansen. Second baseman for the Giants, 1 for 2 tonight. Villanueva in on the grass at third base. Look out.
Whoa. How does that ball miss him?
Barely got out of the way.
I think as Simmer throws uphill. Watch this.
Whoa.
Nearly got him in the ear flat. Wow, that's close.
Popped up, foul ground. Villanueva over by the Giants dugout. Won't have a play.
You went to Northeastern, right?
I did.
I'm surprised you didn't go to the University of San Francisco like Adam Simber did. You
Why
know
is that? Why?
Because they're called the Dons. Pitched at UW before transferring to USF.
I didn't know that.
Adam Simber. Yeah. Went to Puyallup High School in Washington.
Hometown of John Lester. Cubs starter. Full count here to Alan Hansen. And that's ball 4. 1 out walk for Hansen. 1 on, 1 out. Gregor Blanco coming up, part of the double switch.
All right, we're over a month into the season, right? And now I start to look at bats. You know, guys are getting close to everyday guys, 80-ish, maybe 85. But you know, grounding into double plays, you kind of sense a theme. You see a common thread.
Patterns.
Yeah. Only one time Blanco has grounded into a double play.
Here's a pop-up into left center field. Cordero will make the catch for the second out of the inning. And let's check back in with Bob Scanlon.
Hey guys, Eric Lauer did a really nice job today of settling down after that first inning. And you see he uses the cutter right there, staying inside on the right-handers. It keeps them honest. It gives them a little bit more breathing room to go to that outside corner on the backdoor cutter. Great pickoff move right there. Used every bit of that 45-degree angle, didn't he, Mud? But again, the cutter down and in was a good weapon for him. I thought he also did a nice job of incorporating the changeup, giving him a little bit more breathing room on the fastball. Nice job of settling down for Eric Lauer.
It's a chance for his first big league win. This is chopped up the middle and to the backhand and to second base for Pirela, and it's in time. Nice play. Pirela with a good grab behind the bag at second on the high chopper. 5-3 Padres. by Petco, the pet company. And by Pacific Surfliner. Ride the Surfliner to your next Padres game. Fun one tonight in San Francisco. Didn't start that way. Giants had a 3-0 lead after an inning. A run in the fourth, a run in the fifth, and 3 in the sixth inning for the Padres. Has San Diego on top 5-3. More Reyes Maranta back on the mound again for the Giants. And Christian Villanueva leading it off for the Padres here in the 7th inning. Giants bullpen, they've had trouble against the Padres this year in 5 games. Some tough numbers.
To me, that's working the counts like they should be doing and taking good swings, crushing mistakes early in the count. I think anytime you see numbers like that against any bullpen or pitching staff, there's going to be a common theme.
Villanueva tonight has singled to right, grounded into a double play, and last time up grounded out to third. That produced a run. His 19th RBI. 2-2. That had a wrinkle in it.
And it was great location as well. Such a sharp breaking slider from Maranta.
Frenchy Cordero waiting on deck, and Jose Perella scheduled in the inning. Popped up foul, backing out of play. Corey Guerin headed down there to warm up for the Giants. Not started yet, but he's about to. Popped up. Brandon Belt, first baseman, will step into foul ground to handle out number 1 of the 7th inning. Frenchy Cordero coming up, and we're talking a little bit about McCovey Cove earlier. And there are 3 Padres that have done it. Ryan Klesko, April 9th of 2003. Ryan Giles in August of 08. Yasmani Grandal, a total of 77 hit out there. Those are only Giants that have hit it out there. They don't count the other team. So there's been a lot more hit out there.
And once again, it's only 309 down that line to the foul pole, and then it jets out into the gap at 365. So if you hug that foul line and you hit it high, chances are it's going to be a wet one. It's going to go into the drink.
Pretty cool. What looks to be full moon out there tonight. Are pretty close.
Very nice.
Beyond McCovey's Cove there.
Very romantic.
2-0 pitch coming up to Frenchy Cordero. On the ground with a shift on towards the shortstop spot and into center field. Third time that Frenchy Cordero's been on tonight.
Once again, it didn't sound pretty off the bat. He fought off a pitch and found that hole because of the shift. Maybe was that off the end of the bat? Any way you look at it, that's a big league knock.
One out, one on, and Jose Perella coming up. No one has him straightened up. Fastball at 95, up and in. Always kind of got that diving action, so anytime you come inside.
Yeah, if you're going to dive, you better be quick with the hands to counter if you try to make that adjustment quickly on a ball on the inner half of the plate.
Runner goes, and the pitch high. The throw down. Not going to be in time, and a stolen base for Frenchy Cordero.
You know, that wasn't even the greatest jump. And because of that, with the speed of Franchi Cordero, he slides in safely, stay on that bag, keep the foot there.
So now in scoring position with one down here in the 7th inning. Wild swing and a miss for Pirela. And after that 2-0 pitch.
He's fun to watch run, isn't he, Cordero?
He is. Saw that in spring training. A lot of great speed.
You know, last, was it 2 homestands ago? Can't remember, but Franchi was in the rehab process doing the running. And I was out in front of the dugout prior to BP, and he was running down from home to first. You could just hear those spikes in and out of the dirt down the field. It was like, I mean, he was getting it.
Pirela fouls it back, full count. So we'd love to deliver another run here for the Padres. Already on top by 2. Freddie Galvis waits on deck. Cordero singled to center field to head on to first base. Stole second and is there with 1 down.
A little Franchurance wouldn't hurt right here with another run.
Rounder foul.
You like Franchurance? Be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
I think it needs work.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. Duly noted.
Payoff pitch. And a tapper right in front of the plate. That's going to be a fair ball out there. Throw to third, and it's not in time. So Cordero does get to third, but Pirela is out. The catcher Posey jumping out there aggressively to apply the tag. Pirela thought it was a foul ball. So did Andy Green.
That happened so quickly. Now Larry Vanover explaining. Let's see where. Okay, there's the contact. It's where the catcher catches the ball. It's right on top of home plate. You know what? As far as I look at it, that's a fair ball. Great job, great reaction from Buster Posey. The ball does not hit Jose. Remember, it's where the ball is touched, not where the ball hit the ground. It's where the ball is touched. And in the judgment of home plate umpire Larry Vanover, it was touched over home plate.
So a pitching change here for Bruce Bochy. Padres have a runner at third and a 5-3 lead.
Go out there and prove, and that's something that I've been doing all my life. I just thought in my mind I get to play my brother twice, and you know, with my family and how competitive we are, I can't wait to beat him up 2 times.
SDSU's Rashad Penny, drafted in the first round by the Seattle Seahawks, and Inside San Diego Sports was able to catch the moment he heard the news and the emotional moments that followed. Check it out tomorrow on Inside San Diego Sports, immediately following Padres Live, the postgame show. Well, into the game is Corey Guerin.
Corey has not been scored upon in 7 outings here at AT&T Park this season. It's only 5 1/3 inning, his 13th. Check that, 13th game.
Ground ball to short. Tomlinson will go to first for the out that will end the inning. So Guerin does a nice job. Padres cannot add on, but have a 5-3 lead to the bottom of the 7th. And a new pitcher on for San Diego after Adam Simber had a shutout inning in the 6th inning. Kirby Yates, who worked yesterday, comes on here for the 7th.
Oh, Kirby Yates has been very reliable. His 9th game. Check that, 9th game after being on the DL. Coming back nicely. Came back really strong. Overall this season, in the short time, he's only letting opponents hit a 174 clip off the right-hander. Aloha, Kirby Yates.
Part of a double switch as Carlos Suaje comes into the game at second base. That's the night for Jose Perella. Started at second. Here's Andrew McCutchen. Leads it off in the bottom of the 7th. That's a ground ball towards short. Galvis running in. Will plan throw in time to get McCutchen for the first out here, the 7th inning. So 1 down, and nice start here for Kirby Yates. McCutchen may hurt himself on that swing. Kind of wincing there at the end of that swing.
You know, I was watching him. I didn't see where the ball hit the bat. Was that in on the fists? Maybe off the end of the bat, kind of rattle the hands a little bit.
Good tell. Keep an eye on that. See if he stays in the game. Buster Posey now. Posey tonight has doubled, walked, and flied out to center. A double in the first produced a run. So Lauer goes the first 5, gives up 3 runs. Adam Simber worked the 6th inning, and now Kirby Yates here into the 7th.
Oh, the old split finger right here from Kirby Yates. The wiggle from A.J. Ellis.
Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying over the head of Evan Longoria, waiting on deck. Slipped out of the hands of Buster Posey. Look out, Longoria. Right out of the hands.
Yeah. Grips might be worn a little bit. Need a little bit more stick up.
On the ground is short, and again Galvis up to the task. 2 down in the inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 down here in the 7th inning, and it brings up Evan Longoria. Longoria has struck out swinging, flied out to left, and single. Pens are currently busy right now as Yates brings a 1-0 and Longoria fouls it back to the screen.
I'm not an astronomer, but I don't think this is a full moon. You know why? Because it's a little hazy right here on this side.
It's pretty close.
It's close. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's full because that like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock part is just a little bit.
You're not an astronomer?
I know, it comes as a shock to you, right?
Strike call, 1-2.
That's a great pitch. Burying that fastball into the righty. Kirby Yates is not afraid to bury that fastball in. Watch the glove of A.J. Ellis. It's over the inside corner. That's a legitimate strike right at the knees, 93.
Kirby Yates getting McCutcheon to ground out to short, Posey to ground out to short. Now 1-2 to Longoria. Carved foul off to the right out of play. Action in the pen. Stammen. Longoria with a swing and a miss, strikes out again. Second time he's done that tonight. Now the Padres with a 5-3 lead to the 8th. All right, Mike and Tony, thanks very much. Back here in San Francisco as we play along to the 8th inning, and leading it off, Manuel Margot. Corey Guerin back out there, got the final out of the 7th, starts the 8th. There's a grounder up the middle. Shortstop Tomlinson, sidearm toss in time to first base. Now, speaking of an update on Austin Hedges, let's check in with Bob Scanlon.
Well, Don, here's the latest from the Padres. Left tonight's ball game with right elbow tendonitis. So hopefully nothing serious. Hopefully that's something that they can calm down with some rest. We'll find out more after the ball game, but that's the update, guys.
All right, thanks very much. Right elbow tendonitis for Austin Hedges. Left after an at bat in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging. 1 out in the 8th. Ellis has been in and grounds this one foul off himself. A little extra time trying to walk it off. Reyes Moronto in an inning and 2/3, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs. He's on the hook. 1 was earned. Walked 1, didn't strike anybody out. Middle relief not helping the Giants tonight. Jeff Samardzija is the pitcher of record on the winning side at one point as he left after 5 innings. This one bounces in. (14-14) are the Giants coming into tonight's game. Outside for ball 3. On the ground and through the left side into left field, a base hit for A.J. Ellis. 1 out single here in the 8th inning for Ellis.
I'd like to see that for A.J. Getting himself a big league knock. After replacing Austin Hedges, leaving the game with that right elbow tendonitis, he finds a hole through the left side. Any insurance you can get here in San Francisco is a big time plus. This is I've always felt down. This is a place, no matter how well or poorly the Giants are playing, it's a tough place to win.
Carlos Asuaje batting for the first time tonight, came in as part of a double switch. First plate appearance for Asuaje. Took over at second base for Jose Perella. Swing and a miss, chasing after that fastball. Needed first base for A.J. Ellis. 1 down in the 8th inning. Trying to get Asuaje to chase another fastball running away. (2-1) to Asuaje. And a grounder right side. Hanson will go to second base for 1. To first, it's late. They do get the lead runner. And A.J. Ellis at second to base. 4-6 on the force out there. Asuaje will reach at first with 2 down now in the 8th.
That's one thing as a hitter, knowing the situation, 1 out, chance for 2. You've got to hustle down that line to give that next hitter a chance.
They'll be sure and join us tomorrow for game 2 of this 3-game series between the Giants and Padres. Tyson Ross 2-2, 3.64 earned run average. Andrew Suarez on the mound. We'll get our first look as throw over to first base is Suaje back safely. Then we will play day baseball here in the finale of the series on Wednesday, and then it's off to Monterrey, Mexico.
I don't know about you, Donnie, but did April crawl by?
Took a while, but I think it's because we started in March.
Correct.
That's the reason I
think. No doubt, but still,
Yeah.
it seemed like it just snail's pace.
Short lead over there for Suaje, back to the bag. Grounded down the third baseline. Longoria is going to have to hurry his throw in and out of the glove of Belt, and taken off for third base. It's a Suaje. He will get there. Longoria throwing to first base. It is an infield hit for Jankowski. Suaje ends up at third base.
That's what speed can do for you. Longoria knows that. He goes glove and then hand. Boy, you know, a good throw might have gotten him. And there's the big break. Belt can't pick it. 2 outs. Another run is 90 feet away.
Yeah, first and third, and a pitching change here will bring DJ Snelton into the game for Bruce Bochy. With 2 down in the 8th inning, it's 5-3 Padres. Hosmer coming up with 2 down in the inning, and we take you back to the 5th inning when he doubled off the wall in right field off the landing.
Not enough launch angle to get it out of here, but still a ball that was hit pretty darn well. You heard that one. It was barreled up.
One of 2 hits tonight for Hosmer in a big spot here. Runners at first and third, 2 down. Trying to add on to a 2-run advantage right now for the Padres. DJ Snelton into the game now for San Francisco.
This guy's got a funky delivery. He's got a fastball, about 89-90. He's got a breaking ball, and then the old parachute changeup. It just kind of floats up there.
Jankowski takes off at first, and Hosmer fouls it back. Travis taken off there at first base, but a foul ball. Swahe at third, Jankowski at first, 2 down. Jankowski running again. Hosmer will take the strike. No throw from Posey. And a stolen base for Travis Jankowski.
Let's check out the jump of Travis from the lefty. First move, go.
No throw from Posey. In a scoring position, second and third now, 2 down. Hosmer with a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. That will end the top of the 8th. Padres strand a pair, 5-3 San Diego. Go Honda dealers.
First one tonight was Spear the Shark. Jeff Samardzija, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. He struck out 5, 3 free passes, and then love for lefty Lauer. Well, 3 runs allowed in the first inning, but then he rebounded nicely. No runs in the last 4 innings. I call that a big league adjustment for the young left-hander.
Craig Stammen on here for the bottom of the 8th. And a fly ball hits a left field. Cordero breaking back to make the catch in front of the warning track. Brandon Belt taking a long way to left field, but he's out number 1 here in the 8th inning.
You love those as a pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 out. That takes the pressure off a little bit. Not saying that you're going to go after the next guy a little easier, but still. Fewer pitches, the better.
Numbers for Craig Stammen on the year into his 12th game of the season.
Only hitting 184 off Craig. Only 1 walk.
Pablo Sandoval pinch hitting and taking strike 1. .237, a home run, 7 runs batted in. Last we saw Sandoval, he was pitching for the Giants.
I have to say, I was very impressed. He looked very sound mechanically, had good spin to his breaking ball. He's touching 89, pitching to about 87.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Hour went 5 tonight, giving up 3 runs. Simber a shutout inning. Yates a shutout inning. Stammen on has 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kelby Tomlinson waiting on deck. Giants batting in the home half of the 8th inning. Fouled off down the left field line, out of play. This was his pitching performance here in San Francisco against the LA Dodgers. Never want to have position player pitch, or at least try to stay away from it, but Sandoval did a very nice job.
Kept the ball down, got some ground balls, spun a nice breaking ball. Having some fun with it.
Down the right field line, that's going to be a fair ball, and one hop the wall. Jankowski over to play it as Sandoval into second base with a 1-out pinch hit double.
I think we're going to take another look at it, but that pitcher was missed location by Craig. He just didn't get it down enough. It was in, but Pablo was very, very quick to this pitch. Rifling that one off the right field wall, the one hopper.
Gonna have a pinch hitter coming up for Kelby Tomlinson. Brandon Crawford is going to pinch hit as A.J. Ellis heads out to talk to Stammen. The introduction of Brandon Crawford. Just a 191 average, 2 homers, 3 runs batted in. Always good defensively, but this year off to a very slow start offensively. Here comes Andy Green. Make a double switch as Matt Caesar is headed to the outfield, and Stammen is coming out of this game. So a pitching change here from San Francisco. Padres have a 5-3 lead. Game here with 1 out, and the tying run coming to the plate here for the Giants in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, Bradley has held opponents scoreless in each of his last 8 appearances, along with just 3 hits, 14 strikeouts. He has got that breaking ball down. He'll sneak the fastball up in the zone. Only 5 walks in 12 1/3. Got a couple outs to get here.
1 down, runner at second base in Sandoval, and the pinch hitter Brandon Crawford. To right field, Caesar just into the game, makes the catch out there and right for the 2nd out. Fires it back into Freddie Galvis at second base. sees her in as part of the double switch, and that ball finds him right away. 2 down.
How many times does that happen, right?
It's amazing. Takes over for Travis Jankowski out there in right field. 2 down. And it brings up Alan Hansen, who's been on base twice tonight. Single and a walk. Sandoval at second base and looks at him.
You know what's nice about that? Once again, 1 pitch, 1 out for Brad Hand. Doesn't work a deep count. Doesn't add to the pitch total.
One of the 5 he needs.
Yep.
Falls behind. 2-0. Pinch hitter on deck for the Giants. Austin Slater has come out on deck. On the ground towards third. Long throw Villanueva. Dug out by Hosmer on the other side. Nice play by Hosmer on the low throw by Villanueva. Digs it out. We head to the 9th with the Padres on top 5-3. Long throw and couldn't quite get it there in the air. Base and would score Jose Pirela. Then A.J. Ellis with a sac fly. Freddie Galvis will score. And then Chase Headley on a pinch hit, single to right field. And that would score Manuel Margot. Padres scoring 3 times in the top of the 6th inning and have taken a 5-3 lead. We are into the 9th inning. And Pierce Johnson, the new Giants pitcher, into the game.
Holding the opposition to a 191 average, his 11th game. Trying to hold that 2-run deficit.
Brandon Crawford stays in the game at shortstop for San Francisco.
So Bruce Bochy putting that defensive glove out there at shortstop in Brandon Crawford, who can pick it.
Christian Villanueva. Got some help from Eric Hosmer across the diamond, who dug it out of the dirt to end last inning. 1 for 4 tonight. Had a single back in the 1st inning. Also has an RBI. So grounded back towards the mound. Pierce Johnson will barehand and throw for out number 1 of the 9th inning.
Four seam, curveball, cutter from Pierce Johnson.
One out in the 9th inning for Franchy Cordero. It's been a 2-hit night for the Padres left fielder. Franchy doubled in the 4th inning, singled to center in the 7th, and also has a stolen base tonight. Thumb guard he wears came flying off. So the on deck hitter Caesar went to grab it for him. Birds are coming in here.
Yeah, people start leaving and
the buffet begins.
Exactly.
Flock of seagulls.
Nice 80s reference. Love it. Could also go Bodega Bay, Alfred Hitchcock, Birds. Tippy Hedren. She had a rough day. Ooh.
2-1. It's outside for ball 3.
Was it here where they're playing the clapping music and they would leave? Right?
Yes. Last year.
Clapping sound, I should say.
Ball 4, and Cordero down to first base with 1 out in the 9th inning.
That's a great plate appearance by Franchy. Not getting too anxious, taking a walk, putting a little pressure on the Giants.
One out, 1 on. That's Caesar batting for the first time in the game. Took over in right field for Travis Jankowski. 241 average, no homers, 2 runs batted in. His 22nd game of a possible 30 on the year. Quick check on Cordero at first base. Here's Johnson, the 5th pitcher used by Bruce Bochy in the game tonight. Reyes Maranta on the hook right now for the Giants. It's like one of those snow globes. If you shake them up,
Yeah.
kind of looking out there right now.
That's a good call.
Wonder how distracting a fly ball would be to an outfielder right now.
Oh, it's, well, the chance of maybe striking one. I mean, you don't want to see that, but that would be a distraction, I would guess. There's Jonathan. Remember Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
I know the name.
Yeah. That's like a 70s reference.
Ball 1 strike to Caesar. Ball 2, 2-1. There's been very patient here with Pierce Johnson. Cordero walked, and now Caesar head of the count 2-1.
You know, we talk about cheating on the fastball, right? If Matt Caesar could do that, the outfielder swung around the other way. He could get them down that left field line. That's extra bases.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Caesar trying to jump on that fastball.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it away because the outfield, see, swung this way. What I'm talking about, if he could cheat on something, get a fastball early and do it that way. If he keeps pumping that fastball away, Giants are hoping that if the ball is hitting the air to the outfield, it's hit to the right side.
Caesar hits a one-hopper to short. The second for 1 on to first, not in time. Well, Crawford gets the lead runner in Cordero at second base. 6-4 on the force out there. Caesar will reach at first base with 2 down in the inning.
Ball wasn't hit as hard as I thought. Hit softly to short. Crawford's got to wait back on that short hop, and Matt Caesar just runs too well to get doubled up on this one.
So 2 down. Caesar at first base with his lead, and Freddie Galvis the batter. Tardy on the fastball. That one at 94, a little extra. On the ground right side, right at Hanson, who throws out Galvis. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Padres have a 5-3 lead. Back at AT&T Park in San Francisco, more Brad Hand. And his first pitch of the inning hits the pinch hitter Slater. Tying run will come to the plate here. Right out of the gate now for the Giants.
Breaky ball, got him. That hurts.
So Austin Slater running. At first base now, Gorkys Hernandez. Coming up, 1-4-4 in the game. A single back in the first inning. 1 for 6 in his career against Brad Hand. Whoa, let's hit another one. Green looking to Brad Hand for a 5-out save tonight. Has 2 of the 5. Line foul. Out ahead of that. So Slater back to the bag at first. Sneak the fastball by him, and dislocation right there.
That's right down the middle. Now the ideal situation, heads up left side of the infield, that breaking ball down and into the right-handed hitter. Coming your way, Freddie Galvis or Christian Villanueva. Time to turn 2.
1-1. It's a pretty good pitch.
Yep.
Strike called. Hernandez about to flip the bat away. Gets the bad news from Larry Vanover. Full count to Gorkys Hernandez. Runner at first. And he went around, I think. No, foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. So Hand strikes out Hernandez, 1 down to the 9th.
You know, a lot of the pitches have been up from Brad Hand. Tough to tell from here, but Larry Vanover, the home plate umpire, heard it, saw it, called it.
1 out, runner at first, and Andrew McCutchen.
Got to be careful. He's got to get that breaking ball down. A lot of pitches have been up.
Good numbers against Hand in his career, 4 for 6. Drops in there for a strike, 1-1. Longest career saves for Brad Hand. He had 3 innings pitched to pick up a save when he was a Marlin against the Padres back in 2014. Inning and 2/3 back in 2016 against these Giants in September. One and 2. Buster Posey on deck. 1 out, last of the 9th inning. Tying run at the plate, and Andrew McCutchen.
Ground ball or a strikeout right here.
That would be strike 3. 2 down in the 9th. Back-to-back Ks for Brad Hand.
That is some pitching right there from Brad Hand. How about a left-handed pitcher just buckling a right-handed hitter on the breaking ball? That's a pretty darn good pitch.
Two down, Slater at first base, and Buster Posey the hitter. Runner goes. Posey takes strike 1. Defensive indifference gets Slater to second base. High for ball 1. Buster Posey with an RBI double back in the first inning. 2 for 5 in his career against Brad Hand. Two and 1. Posey with 2 home runs on the year. Slater at second base. And ready with a 2-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2, and it's 2-2. And in the midst of a meeting with himself. Here's in for a sign from A.J. Ellis. Two-two pitch coming up. In the air, foul off to the right, out of play. Posey staying alive. 20 pitches for Brad Hand so far, has 4 of the 5 outs he needs to complete this save. Little counterclockwise stroll around the mound. Now back up on top. On the ground, foul, and Posey stays alive.
He's a tough out, right?
Always has been.
Always. He's got such good hand-eye coordination. Quick to the baseball. Good discipline of the strike zone.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 9th inning. Padres on top by 2. Posey in the air down the left field line, but foul. Out ahead of that. And the at-bat continues.
Little spinner down and in. Caught it out in front. Very hard to keep fair. Yeah, that's way out front.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Buster Posey. Fouled off again. You'll see a 9th pitch. Austin Slater, pinch hitter, was hit by a pitch to begin the inning. Hernandez struck out. McCutchen struck out. Slater took second on a defensive indifference. Now an epic battle between Brad Hand and Buster Posey. Up and away, full count. Evan Longoria is on deck for the Giants. Pitch 25 coming up for Brad Hand in relief. Ball 4 and he loses him. Posey down to first base. First walk allowed by Brad Hand, and A.J. Ellis, the catcher, headed out to talk.
I think that was just a little bit of a breather, huh? With the workload, the pitch load. Also might have a little chat about, hey, how do you want to start this guy off? He's looking to drive in that run, maybe more. So Brad Hand has confidence to throw that first pitch breaking ball.
0 for 4 is Longoria against Hand in his career. Ball 1. Tying run at first, potential winning run at the plate right now in Evan Longoria.
And Don, what do you know? Two guys that we talked about in our pregame and in our game open. The one at the plate and the one on deck. Brandon Belt.
Some drama here in the 9th inning. Longoria lines it down the left field line, foul. First and second, 2 down. Last of the 9th inning, Padres on top 5-3. Their closer Brad Hand trying to get his 5th out since coming in. Strike 2, and it's 1-2.
You see Brad going to his mouth quite a bit when he's off the rubber. I mean, it's cold out there tonight. Maybe he needs a little bit more grip on that baseball. A lot of his pitches have been up in the zone.
The 1-2 pitch coming up to Longoria. In the air to left field. Deep was Cordero, and that ball's going to fall. 1 run is in. Throw to third, and safe at third base is Buster Posey, and it's a 1-run game. Cordero was so deeply situated in left field that he had no chance to make that catch.
Outfield playing no doubles right there, and he fights that one off and dumps it in between Galvis and Cordero. Fights off a breaky ball. And right there you can see how far they had to go to try to catch that baseball. Falls right in between Galvis and Cordero. And with 2 outs, Buster Posey is off with the crack of the bat 90 feet away.
Tying run, and Buster Posey at third. Evan Longoria, potential winning run at first. 2 down in the 9th for Brandon Belt. Strike 1. Hand to the gas at 95. And his 30th pitch of relief. Ball 1, 1-1. Two and 1.
Boy, if a catcher ever had to be on this game, it's right now. Why? Because that Brad Hand breaking ball, right? You can't be hesitant to not throw it because it's your bread and butter pitch. And on the other hand, A.J. Ellis has got to be on his horse. He's got to be on his game to try to smother that ball if, in fact, he throws it and if he throws it in the dirt.
Ball 3, 3-1. Brad Hand a new high in pitches thrown in an inning, or in an outing, I should say. Nick Hundley, the former Padre, is on deck. 33 pitches, the most he's thrown in any game this year. Not done yet. That is a high strike call, and Belt can't believe it. Full count.
I think it touches the line, huh?
High strike it was. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down in the 9th. Tying run 90 feet away in Posey. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning, end of the outing allowed here by Hand. A.J. Ellis heading out there again. Nick Hundley get a pinch hit. The former Padre had a walk-off single last year against the Padres. As we look back to that, Kevin Quackenbush, July 22nd. One for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. Coming off the bench with a game in the balance. Hundley takes ball 1. Two home runs on the year, 4 runs batted in. Hundley into left center field. 1 run in to tie the game. Here comes a game winner, and the Giants walk it off. Nick Hundley drives in a pair, and the Giants come from behind to win it in game 1.
We just saw a classic example of how the last 3 outs are probably the toughest outs to get in a big league ball game. Some good at-bats by the Giants. Huge pinch hit appearance by Nick Hundley. And the Giants walk it off. This is a tough one because the first 2 outs that Brad Hand got in the 8th inning to end that inning were quick. And then the hit batsman to lead off this 9th. 2 strikeouts, and the Padres, this is going to be a tough one to swallow here.
Giants win it 6-5 in dramatic fashion tonight, game 1 of the series. It's time for Padres Live. What's in store, Mike Pomerantz?